Hey beautiful ladies, welcome back to my channel. This is your online sister and friend, Coach FO. And today we're talking about something very deep, something that has shaped me as a woman. So this is from lady to you, my ladies. This video is for every woman that is constantly trying to find her voice, her purpose, and her strength in a world that constantly tells us what to do. When I think of the word lady, I think of who I used to be. Apparently, being a lady was about being seen but not heard. My mom of blessed memory was a lady. She bore so much pain, but she remained a dutiful wife. That her value was only appreciated after she had gone. So we were all brought up to fit into what the society expects of us. Dress this way, act that way, speak this way, and then dream small. When our mothers were around, majority of them didn't have any big dream. Or they were either teachers or nurses or simply running small provision stores. So they were always available for us. By the time we come back from school, they are in the house. So many of them could not pursue any big career. They didn't have any big dream. It's usually the daddies that go out. But deep down within me, observing my mother, I honestly did not want the same thing to happen to me. I wanted to explore. I wanted to be better because I felt I carry bigger capacity. There was a voice inside me that wanted to lead, to create, to inspire, and to encourage other women to rise too. So, as a young girl, I wanted to be that perfect little girl that everybody would love. But then, life happens. My transformation didn't happen overnight. It came through pain, lessons, heartbreaks, and self-discovery. I started asking myself the real questions. Who am I when no one is watching? What do I want, not what people expect from me? I finished my school search at age 15. And then my mom was already ill. So I took care of her, stayed with her in the hospital, and then I gained admission into the School of Nursing in Ijebu-Ode at age 16. In fact, my admission was actually to the Abeokuta school. But because I wanted to leave the house, I wanted to fly on my own. Do you know that at age 16, I went to the ministry myself to request to be taken to Ijebu-Ode so that I could leave the house and see the world with my own eyes. And I didn't want to stay in the hostel. So I took money from my father, rented my own room, and I was living my life. That was at 16. And that was the same year that my mother died, in November 1984 was when my mother died. Now, 6 months after her death, 6 months after her retirement, she died. 2 years after her death, we were paid our gratuity. And then my lessons started. I was 18, and my mother's gratuity that was paid to us was 15,000 naira. Our last born was 10 years old. And then the question started coming to me. Is this what it means to work for anybody for a long time? And my thought pattern was changed. And I started looking at life with a different perspective and eyes. And so, that same year, when I was 18, I was recruited into the Nigerian military. I did my military training and all of that, finished my nursing, did my midwifery, and by the time I had spent 7 years at a job, all I could see was going on the same path that my mother traveled. But ask me, I don't want that destination. So I had to make a U-turn. And by the time I was making that same U-turn, I was 25, was the same time that I got married. In fact, my posting to to a far place was released a day before the wedding. I had to take a decision. As a young girl, I envisioned a beautiful married family life. I love to have a home because I'm from a polygamous setup. So I looked forward to having a home. And because I was already a born-again Christian, I already had an idea of what a Christian marriage should look like. I even met the guy right in the church. But there came a twist to the story. Sisterhood is not a trend, it's power. So even as you plan to go into your wedding, into your marriage relationship, please keep your choice friends. You will need them as you grow. You will need to continue gisting. You will need to seek counsel from women that are older. You will need to choose your career mentors who are women like you. You will need to have your business mentors if you choose to go into business. You need to have a support structure. People that have gone ahead that can always guide you. Please know that there is power in maintaining relevant relationships all around you. You cannot do the journey all alone. So, because of the wedding and because of the desire in my heart that I don't want the same thing that happened to my mother to happen to me, I chose to resign. Ask me what I will do. I don't know yet because I didn't even save 500 naira in my 7 years of job. And so we moved house and we moved to a riverine town in Lagos State called Ekpe. In Ekpe at that time, the only business available freely was to sell fresh fish. And so for 2 weeks, I was going to the market to learn the names of the fish, how it is called, how it is packaged, how you can sell it. I tell you, I started fresh fish business with just 500 naira. And in 2 weeks, I had over 5,000 naira from that small capital. That's the power of women supporting women. I learned from other women that are not as educated as I am, but they were open to teach me, and I learned and I was building a very good business. And because I'm educated, I was able to add better value. So I didn't know how to clean the fish. I will pay people to clean. I learned how to package. So instead of putting the basket on my head, I will carry I bought a cane basket that has handle. So I will layer the basket with clothing, with leaves, put the cleaned fish now that they have descaled, and then I'll put the ice block to provide that cold environment. Trust me, I was going to sell my fresh fish to bank workers in Victoria Island because I had a brother-in-law who was working in a bank at that time. So through him, I gained access to 3 different banks, and I only go to market 3 times a week. So running my business from home, I will have fresh fish that we will cook to eat in the house, and I had a good turnover. So I leave the house around 9 in the morning, and by 5:30 in the evening, I'm back Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. So education will always give you an edge, a leverage. It will guide you in doing things better, and that was what I did. And so that began my entrepreneurial journey. Age 25, resigned from my first major job that I did for 7 years, and then, to the surprise of everybody, I was able to stand alone. So you will need the sisterhood, but please be selective. Not everybody. Just choose women of like mind. And so the lady in me started rising. A non-profit organization came to Ekpe at that time, and they approached me to bring together other women who are 50. And so we started. We empowered the tailors, we empowered the hairdressers, we had caterers, and then we had the fish smokers. And I provided leadership. Do you know that at that time, with 10,000 naira, you could start a viable business? The same thing happens Now, it's not how big the money is. Women are always nurturers. Whatever a woman has, she's able to start something. Have you observed? If a man loses his job, he will sit at home waiting for the wife to feed him. If a woman loses her job, she does not sit. She will look for what to do with whatever it is she has. You will find the woman that she can start selling food with 5,000 naira. She will still feed the family. Women, we are powerful. So, when I say from lady to ladies, it's not just a title. It's a journey. It's a journey of revealing who you truly are on your inside. Choose to evolve. Decide to build your capacity. If you find yourself in any situation at all, whether at work, be it at home, be it in the family, be it in the community, that you are not comfortable with, all you need to do is decide to build your capacity. When you build your capacity, I tell you, you will be able to take better informed decisions. It's important that you build capacity. Don't sit down and gossip. Don't sit down and complain. Don't sit down and blame others. Take 100% responsibility for your life. Decide from within you to add value to yourself. As you bring value to the market begins to pay you. So here are the lessons that I've learned on this journey. Lady, you are strong more than you think. But because you're matured, because you have emotional intelligence, you tend to control that. So it's not the shouting, it's not the fighting, it's applying wisdom. It's building capacity from within you to be better than you are now. When you increase your capacity and value, men will treat you better. The whole world will treat you better. You can be gentle and powerful at the same time. So it's not the cho. No, it's not the talking. It's about talking sense. And I tell you, the real glow starts from inside you. Not in the makeup, not in the clothes, but in the mindset. What do you think about yourself? What are your thoughts about you? You are more than you think you are. If this message spoke to you, let me know in the comments. Tell me, from lady to ladies, what's the meaning? How do you interpret that? And if you are new here, I'm Coach FO, your online sister and friend. See you in the next video. Thank you and God bless.